Welcome to the Newsome MMA Podcast, partnered with Concussion Pro 1, the world's first dedicated concussion supplement. I'm your host as always, Newsome, and tonight I am joined by heavy-duty fighter and Bellator Middleweight Lee the Butcher Chadwick, ahead of his fight against Fabian Edwards at Bellator Newcastle on February 9th in Newcastle. Lee, thank you for joining me tonight. How are you, my friend?
No problem, mate. I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. So to kick things off, let's talk about the fight card and your call-up to be a part of it. Bellator are doing huge things in Europe right now, so how does it feel to not only be a part of Bellator Europe's first fight card in 2019, but to be on that main card as well?
I am a made up. I'm really happy with that because usually fighters have to prove themselves on the preliminary card, don't they? So I am very happy that I'm straight on the main card for my first fight.
Sure, and you're a 38-fight veteran in MMA, Lee. You're a former world champion too. Do you still get that buzz and that excitement for being a part of these big fight nights, or is it just business as usual?
Oh no, definitely get a big buzz. I enjoy every fight. I get hungry at every fight, to be honest with you. I get hungry at every fight,
Sure.
So yeah, I'm really happy.
So where were you when you got the call for this fight, and what were your thoughts when you were told who your opponent was in Fabian Edwards?
Do you know what? I can't really remember, but if I'm honest, I asked for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was shouting out all sorts of crap on social media, calling himself the daddy of Bellator and all that, and I thought, and my name got tagged in something, Mike Shipman and Gagard Mousasi, and he was saying anyone can get it and all that, and I just thought he was a bit too cocky for, and he needed shutting up by someone of my credential.
Sure, and you've just touched upon social media there. As you've already mentioned, Edwards has been very vocal on social media regarding what he wants to do to you. I know there's been some back and forth between you two as well. How do you reply to some of the things that Edwards has been saying, Lee?
It's all talk, mate. Saying something and doing it is two different things, isn't it? And what he says he's going to do, he's just putting more pressure and adding more pressure to himself. Now, in his head, what he's been telling people is he's going to end me in the first round and it's going to be his easiest fight. So if he doesn't get some sort of miracle fluke, he's going to be thinking to him, they're like, if this goes out the first round, he's already broken his promise to all his fans, hasn't he? So his pressure's to take me out in the first couple of minutes.
Sure, and do you enjoy this animosity and having this sort of build-up for your fights?
Yeah, the more he talks, the better for me. It's great. It builds the fight up more, and obviously he feels like he has to bark a bit more because he hasn't proved his bite yet.
I mean, it certainly creates awesome viewing for the fans for sure, but before we move on from this, do you have one final message for Edwards, or is it just a case of letting your fighting do the talking on February 9th?
No, I have a message. I've had a few messages off him, so I just want to tell him I'm going to give him the worst night of his fighting career.
Sure. Now, let's talk styles. How much do you know about Edwards, and where do you feel your advantages are in this fight?
My advantages are the same as they've been in most fights with people. I always get good strikers that are trying to hit and move and keep out of my reach. Try and keep me at their reach, work off the jab, head kicks, leg kicks. And my goal is always to close the distance, make it dirty, take them down, beat them up, submit them, dirty box them. So it's not a fight that I haven't been in before, if I'm honest. I've been in this fight 10 times before.
For sure, and over half of your wins have come via submission. The irony is, though, Edwards has just achieved his purple belt in BJJ, so this is clearly a part of his game that he's been striving to improve. But if the fight hits the mat, do you feel that your prowess in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and your veteran experience will be enough to get Edwards out of there?
If we hit the mat, I'm going to make him look like a white belt. He's not. That purple belt was just for social media and for show. We only started in the gi in November 20th, and I've got proof of that. So how can you go straight to a purple belt when you've only worn a gi about 5 times? I've been wearing a gi for years, and I'm only purple belt, but I'm black belt level. I just haven't been graded yet.
For sure, man. And is watching tape and film on your opponent something that you or your coaches do?
We have a quick look through. I have a little look. Sometimes I have a little look to just psych myself up, but I have a little look and just get an idea. I don't stew on it. I don't believe in visualising their fight game. I'm always visualising what I'm going to do to them. So I have a quick look as soon as I get matched, and then that's about it. I don't watch nothing else on them unless I'm showing other people who I'm fighting. But apart from that, no, I don't look at it too much. My coach has a good look more than me, I think. and then he gets an idea of what they're good at. But me coach, Dad Morris, he only has to watch a couple of fights and he has them down to a T. So we know what we're in for on the night, and we're planning to battle that.
Yeah, I understand that totally. So let's move on to talk about your training camp for this fight. When did the fight camp start, and where have you been based this time around?
To be honest, my fight camp never stops. I have a week off after the fight, and then I'm back in the gym, and I'm constant all year round, whether I'm active or not fighting. The only thing that stops me from being active usually is an injury. So I'm always training. I haven't stopped for 12 years. I haven't had more than a week off in one go for 12, 13 years. So it's non-stop. But obviously, 6 to 8 weeks out, it starts stepping up more and more and more as it gets towards the fight. Strategies start coming in, and we start working a few different types of game plans. We don't have one game plan, we just have a strategy for every situation.
Sure, and where's that fight camp been, Lee, and who have been some of your main training partners for it?
The fight camp has been up in ASW in Leigh, Tilsley. And my main training partner is my coach, Darren Morris. He's 47 and he still ruins everyone in the gym. So you can't get much better than him. Still beats me up. So, I've got him. I've got Matt Klempner. He's national judo champion and world. I think he was world champion, British champion. I know that. He was got placed in the world as well and the Olympics. So he's really good on his judo. I've got good strikers, ex-boxers to spar with, and I've got a load of black belts as well, like Kamatakaru and a few of his guys from down in ASW Manchester that come down and train with us. And Thompson, Chris Thompson, he's a black belt. He comes and trains with us. He's got his own gym in Liverpool, but we all meet up, all the best in the Northwest, all meet up in the same place and we train together. So I've got really good training partners, and I've been doing my pads with Rob Lloyd. He's a good guy to do pads with down at Four Corners Gym. He's like 6'4", really good for range and stuff like that. Really good for strategy as well for on the feet.
Yeah, it sounds good, man. So is there a specific part of your game that you've been working on during this camp, or are you just getting the work in every department?
I'm always working on striking and groundwork. My main thing is my groundwork. That's always constant. But for this particular fight, it's just making me better at everything I do. And it's MMA. As it gets closer to a fight, it's a lot more MMA based. So it's ground and pound and positional training and stuff like that. Throwing shots in different positions and wearing fighters down. So we do a lot of that. A lot of shark tanks, where I'm fighting a fresh fighter every couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, just grueling hard work.
Sure. I honestly believe that this fight won't be anything other than fireworks. How do you see yourself getting your arm raised at the end of the fight, and do you have a prediction for us?
Yeah, I believe, if I'm honest, I never set my heart on one thing, because as long as I win, that's all that matters. As long as I get my hand raised, whether it goes the distance, whether I knock him out, whether I submit him, as long as I win, that's all I care about. So I strive towards whatever I see at the time. Like, I'll take any way I can to finish the fight. If I see a neck, an arm, a leg, or anything, I'll submit it. If I see an open with the chin, I'll try and knock him out. And if I see a weakness in his fitness or whatever, I'll wear him down and beat him up. So wherever it goes, I'm happy. But I do believe that he's going to fade after the first round. I feel like I'm going to beat him up, and I'm going to really break him down. I reckon I'll stop him with punches or I'll submit him.
Awesome. And finally, I know you never want to look past the upcoming fight and opponent, but with a win on February 9th, what's next for Lee the Butcher Chadwick?
As soon as possible, back in there. I want to work my way to the top of the division, and I've got the belt in mind. I've won a belt on every show I've fought on, so this is no different for me.
Absolutely. Well, that's all she wrote. So what I'm going to do now, Lee, is just give you the opportunity to shout out anything or anybody that you need to. So sponsors, coaches, training partners, family, friends. I know this puts a lot of fighters on the spot, but there's no rush here. Take your time, and the floor is yours, Lee.
Well, to be honest with you, mate, I'm just going to keep it simple. I want to thank everyone who's around me that's helped me, supported me, and emotionally helped me. I want to thank my newly fiance, Leah, for supporting me. She's been a big help with this campaign, sorting me food prep, me washing, stuff like that, looking after me. It's stuff that you need when you're walking and you fall on the couch. I want to thank my coach, my team at ASW, Darren Morris mainly, as always, and my management team, Heavy Duty Management and Concussion Pro for the support. And I've got quite a few sponsors, so PNI, Kids in Bloom, Nursery, Luciano Clothing, Peak Sports, sports clothing. I want to give a shout out to a new business I've got, Heat Camps. And I want to thank me striking coach, Rob Lloyd, me fitness coach, my brother, Jamie Chadwick. The list goes on, but if there's anyone I've missed out, I just appreciate the help and getting off everyone and me support of my friends and stuff, understanding that I'm going to be narky for the next few weeks, so they keep the distance.
For sure. Well, once again, Lee, thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight, and I wish you the best of luck on February 9th at Bellator Newcastle.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Adam.